Coffee production worldwide could see dire impact from climate change alone in the years to come. Global stakeholders of the industry came together in Rwanda for the World Coffee Convention to assess the way forward and exchange ideas to implement multilateral approach to ensure resilience in the industry. Welcome to Doing Business in Rwanda. In this episode, we focus on the coffee sector in Rwanda and the rest of the African continent. I'll be your host, Tessie Cavan. After 2 years of online gatherings due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the World Coffee Producers Forum held its third in-person meeting in Kigali, Rwanda, bringing together more than 1,000 coffee producers to discuss critical issues affecting the coffee industry, such as sustainability, climate change, and prosperity. Globally, over 12 million people grow coffee, with the vast majority being smallholder farmers. In Rwanda, over 400,000 households rely on coffee for their livelihoods.
Households working on 39,844 hectares of land are growing coffee. And coffee is one of the major contributors for their family income. In addition to that, coffee has a significant impact on both our country balance of trade and also the general economic performance, as coffee is the third major main contributor for Rwanda's foreign exchange income.
Though Rwanda has the optimal conditions to produce high-quality coffee and earn premium prices, challenges such as plant diseases and unpredictable weather patterns make it difficult to earn a living from coffee. Despite the sector being the third contributor to the country's foreign exchange earnings, coffee farmers are yet to reap the full benefits of the sector, with many of them languishing in poverty.
Despite coffee being among the most popular and healthier beverage in the world, it does not by itself guarantee that millions of farmers that are farming coffee are having a decent living or are expecting a prosperous future. While coffee firms are keen on expanding their customer base, reducing expenses, and increasing efficiency, coffee farmers still struggle to attain a fair share of the industry earning. In many places, coffee producers cannot even cover the production costs. It is therefore very important that this forum continue to discuss ways to secure increased revenues and enhanced welfare of coffee producers.
We need to work on getting all the stakeholders to work to make sure that farmers can prosper, not just living income, which was the panel this morning, not just living income. Because it's not enough that you've got people who are under the poverty line, you bring them a millimeter up of the poverty line, and you put them there and suspend the animation, and at the first setback they will fall back into poverty. Doesn't make any sense. Living income is a good thing as a stop for prosperity. And prosperity, I've mentioned it this morning, is prosperity basically, I want my kids to be better off than me, and I want my grandkids to be better off than my kids. And that has lots of things. On one hand, better prices being paid by the industry, by traders, and so on and so forth.
This state of affairs notwithstanding, it's not all doom and gloom for all coffee farmers, as some have leveraged on the gains and made a fortune from coffee production.
Being in the coffee production business has transformed my life. I own a house worth 15 million Rwandese francs. I also own a truck as well as a motorbike, which I bought at 1.5 million Rwandese francs. There is much more that I plan to do to better my life, and all this is because of coffee production.
Ikawa akamaro ifitiye icyambere imfasha gutunga urugo rwanjye.
Being a coffee farmer has helped me take care of my family, pay school fees, as well as get health insurance, and pay my workers. All these are benefits of coffee farming.
The cooperative itself, when they get profit, 50% of all the profit is invested back in the community. We have loan scheme where farmers can get money without interest. We provide cows. So far, we provide closer to 400 milky cows. After having milk, they can supply their milk here, and they buy it and they transform it into dairy products, yogurt, cheese, fermented milk, and fresh milk. That's another business to us and also to the farmers. And we have women coffee that are separately produced and processed by women, and on their sales there is a premium, and we accumulate all those premiums and we invest back into the women well-being.
Statistics from the National Agriculture and Export Board shows that Rwanda earned close to $100 million from coffee exports between January and December 2022. According to Angelique Karekezi, the managing director of Rashosco, Rwanda's good quality coffee is accessed in different markets across the world.
We have different markets, yes, because we have, as I said, Rwashosco is owned by farmers 100%, grouped in different cooperatives, 5 cooperatives and 1 family company. And we have different markets in different areas of the world, because you have a market in the US, in Europe, in Asia, especially China, Japan and South Korea. We have market in Australia and also in Africa. We are producing between 45 and 60 containers. And one container is 18 tons. You can imagine the production. And I can ensure that most of the time what we are producing, it's all exported.
97% of coffee produced in Rwanda is exported, with only 3% consumed locally. This issue is not unique to Rwanda. There are concerted efforts to push coffee-producing countries globally to increase local consumption.
We are trying to push for producing countries to consume more coffee, because some of the countries, Ethiopia and Brazil may be the biggest exceptions, but most producing countries, we don't consume that much coffee. So we're trying to also to make sure or to push for people to consume more coffee in producing countries.
Climate change is one of the greatest threats to coffee production globally. However, according to the chairperson of the WCPF, conversations about net zero should go hand in hand with conversations about poverty zero.
We didn't cause the climate change. We didn't cause the climate crisis. So everybody's willing to get the farmers to pay for a crisis they did not cause. Yes. One. So you want us to deal with it? Who's paying the price? Give us the money. How do they expect the farmers will pay for the measures that need to be taken to protect the environment? Exactly. We need to talk about net zero, yes. But who's talking about poverty zero? Very few people. And if you want net zero, you need to get poverty zero, because again, the biggest predator of the environment and the communities is poverty.
Challenges faced by coffee growers globally in the recent years is only the tip of the iceberg when the climate change projections are taken into consideration, along with the long-term impact it will have across all sectors of agriculture, including coffee. Conventions like the World Coffee Producers Forum play a critical role in bringing all stakeholders together, from the soil-tilling farmer to the fancy coffee shop owners, to collaborate, exchange ideas and educate through the experience of different markets, while ensuring the assistance of scientific methods to make this industry resilient to climate change and other shocks. That's all we had for this edition of Doing Business in Rwanda. Until next time, bye for now.